I was tuning the race car's engine today, or at least trying to get a steady idle, and ran out of fuel. So, not wanting to entirely waste the evening, I started working on some of the upholstery. As you saw previously in the wiring, there's a large amount of wiring that goes right down the transmission tunnel and through the center of the passenger compartment. And this was the original panel that was manufactured to go over that. And it snugs in. You might have seen in the previous video where the transmission shifter fits in here, and this kind of just snugs right up against the center console of the where the AC controls and stereo would be. And this has some of the fire suppression spray and the trans brake. So, you know, it's basically a sheet metal piece that's been custom bent to fit the space, and they've gone through and, you know, added some patches and stuff as they built different parts of it and stiffened up sections of it. And the original builder of the car did a pretty good job. You know, they did some dimpling to stiffen up the plates and everything. What I really needed to focus on was with the new wiring at the back. It comes out, and there was previously a little cut here to allow for the fire suppression pole cable to come through and go back to the fire suppression bottle. But with all the new wiring coming back through the center, it actually needs to exit here and not have a piece of sheet metal digging into it. So I've been marking it off, and I used a nibbler to trim that back, and I was just working on actually reattaching the fabric covering, and so it's like a felt covering, and I just thought I'd go through a little bit of what that process is. You know, basically with the sheet metal piece and felt, you really just need something simple, a spray adhesive. In my case, I almost always use a 3M Super 77. It's a pretty simple, very strong adhesive for this type of material. In this case, you shake it up, give a light spray. Now here, you can see I've already cut these to give a little relief, so I can actually just fold the fabric over, and you know, it has these split points where the fabric can actually move. Otherwise, if I hadn't cut those, I wouldn't actually be able to fold over that edge, because it would start to pucker at the corner. Even though there isn't really a corner, it's more of a, you know, it's got a radius to it, but it still does the same thing. You really have to give those little relief cuts to make it fit. But here we go, and you know, with this I just do the same thing. Basically fold these fabric pieces up and over the edge and let the adhesive sit. And now we can actually go take this and install it in the car. And I'm losing the daylight, but here you can kind of see, you know, that panel, and it sort of fits up right here around the shifter. There's that head for the fire suppression system. And now when we go back here to the wire cutout that we did, you can see there's just two screws that hold in the back. And now that this is cut out, there's a nice little gap there. Not huge, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, but just enough to let it go through. And the rest of the fire suppression system and the pole cable fits under there. But it just gives a nice little clean detail. And when I get some time, maybe I'll make another sheet metal cover to go all the way to the back, just so the wires aren't hanging out. It's a race car. Some people don't mind to have wires hanging everywhere. Some people mind the extra weight of all of these trim panels and everything. I kind of like making it look pretty.